Hello everyone. I'm sorry I didn't have enough time to show you how to create those two ERDs in MWB format step by step, especially the second one. So I record this video. This is a structure for assignment 2. All questions in assignment 2 are based on chapter 3. Chapter 3 review question 1 to 8, 10 to 13, and problem 1 to 6. Those two ERD questions, one is review question 10, another is problem 6. We also have 6 SQL questions this time, and still often are in multiple choice format. I have already shown you how to create them yesterday, so I will not repeat it here. Otherwise, I will tell you the answer directly. Okay, so this is first ERD questions, ERD practice for review question 10, and it's if you take a look at the text box, this is the review question part for chapter 3. So review question 10 creates a relational diagram for the database showing figure question 3.8. This is figure question 3.6. It's a relationship between professor and student. So since we only have this figure, we need to decide the cardinalities and connectivities of this professor advises student relationship. So how to kind of infer the connectivity and cardinalities. So we have 4 records in the professor table and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yes, 6 records in the student table. As you can see, the professor code is used as foreign key in the student table. So this is a 1-to-many relationship because we always put the primary key in the table on the one side as the foreign key in the table on the many side. And if you take a look at the professor codes, we have 4 records, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this record 2, this professor 2, appears twice in the student table. That means there are 2 students. Their advisor is this professor number 2. So it's a 1-to-many relationship because apparently one professor can advise more than one student. And then what about the cardinalities? So if you know the connectivities, you already know the maximum cardinalities for both entities. And then we need to decide the minimum cardinalities. So what's the minimum number of students one professor can advise? So here, as you can see, only professor 1, professor 2, professor 4 appears as foreign key in the student table. That means it is okay that this professor 3 doesn't advise any student. This also means the minimum number of students one professor can advise is 0. So one professor can advise 0-to-many students. And then the minimum cardinalities for the student. We we can find there are two records. This one, they don't have associate professor codes. They don't have a data value in this foreign key area. That means those two students simply do not have any advisor. So it is allowed a student has 0 advisor. So and if they have advisor, so like this guy, this guy, they can only have one advisor. So either 2 or 4 or 1. You cannot have like 1, 2, 4, 3, whatever. So that means one student can be advised by at minimum at least 0 professor and maximum at most 1 professor. So this is a business rule we infer from the table. So please be sure you also write down this business rule as illustration in your ERD. And this is an ERD you create for review question 10. I attached the picture here this time because you will need to upload the MWB file, which means you will need to insert data record for both tables. Otherwise, you cannot get full credit. You will only get half credit. And then it comes to the questions how to insert data record for both table. Okay, let's start with this MySQL workbench. Always you use the second half, the models part for ERD creation. So now let's create the first ERD, add diagram. And okay, so I think I need to wait a while. Okay, so let's first create the professor table. The table name is professor, and the primary key, as this professor table showed, is called professor code. So be sure you use the correct attribute names and correct data record values provided by review question 10 by this figure. So the first attribute, also the primary key for professor, is professor code, and it will automatically be set as primary key not null, and you can click it as onside because apparently you will not have negative number in professor code. And the second attribute, the second column, is called department code. And we can set it as also int. And it's not clear if it's a required attribute or not, although I think usually the department code should have a value. And here, since every record has a value, so we can also set it as not null and onside, because apparently department code cannot have negative number. So this is a professor table. And then let's create the student table. The table name is called student, and the first the first attribute, also the primary key, student code. Primary key not null and unsigned. The second attribute, the foreign key in student table. This professor code is also the primary key in the professor table. So remember, you should use the same attribute name, data type. And now it comes to the question if this professor code is a required attribute or not, if the data value can be left empty. This really depends on the minimum cardinality here. So the minimum cardinality is associated with the student table. As you can see, some student records do not have a value, data value for the professor code. That means it is allowed that this professor code, the foreign key, does not have a value. So here, we just left it as no, so can be no. And also you can click this onside because always professor code cannot be negative number. And then use this last option to create the one-to-many relationship. This is a one-to-many relationship. And always first click the foreign key and then click the primary key. This time, you need to edit this relationship a little bit because of the minimum cardinality. Here, as you can see, the minimum cardinalities for both tables is 0, represented by a circle. But here, the minimum cardinalities now for both tables is are still 1. So how to change the minimum cardinalities? Just double-click the relationship, or you can right-click and edit relationship, and this relationship editing window will automatically pop up. And the first tab is called relationship. You don't need to change anything here. And here, you have this foreign key tab. To change the minimum cardinalities, unclick the mandatory checkbox for both entities. Now, as you can see, the minimum cardinality have been changed to 1. This also means, if you still remember, the you still remember the mandatory and optional participation. This also means professor can exist without the existence of student, and student can exist without the existence of professor in this professor advises student relationship. And because the minimum cardinalities on both sides are 0, not 1. If how to say, if here the mandatory checkbox is clicked, that means a professor must advise at least one student. So professor cannot exist without the existence of student. And similarly, if this mandatory checkbox is checked, that means a student must be advised by one and only one professor. So in this relationship, students cannot exist without the existence of the professor. But that's not the case in this ERD. So please unclick the mandatory for both table. And then it comes to the question how to insert the data record. So double click the table, or you can right click and select Edit Professor, and you will see this pop-up window. And the first tab, the default one, is called column. This is where we edit or attribute and those column flag. And move to this Insert tab. This is where you will enter all data records. And I received some email asking for where is the data from, which data records I should use. Please refer to the figure, refer to the question body. So it provides the data, so you don't need to make up the data by yourself. And for this professor table, let me use another computer as reference. Okay, so for this professor table, if you refer to review question 10, the figure question 3.8, first record is professor code 1, department code 2. Second, professor code 2, department code 6. Next one, professor code 3, department code 6. The last one, professor code 4, and department code 4. Okay, that's all for professor table. And please be sure you click this apply change button. Otherwise, all data records you just insert will disappear. And then for the student table, also move to the Insert tab and refer to the data records in figure question 3.8. Let's also review question 10. First one, student record 1000278. Professor code nothing, because that student does not have an advisor. And next one, student code 128569, professor code 2. Next one, student code 512272, professor code 4. Next one, student code 531235. No, professor code 2. Okay. Next one, student code 53126. 531268. Professor code nothing. The student also doesn't have an advisor. And the last one, student code 553427. Yeah. And professor code 1. Okay, and then remember, clear this apply change button, otherwise you will lose everything. Okay, so last step is enter the relationship name. And use another text box to enter that illustration, that business rule I just discussed. One professor, that's an email from my advisor. One professor can advise 0 to many students, and one student can be advised by 0 to 1 professor. Okay, that's all for review question 1, and now I would like to change the color for the table. Okay, so be sure this time you save the ERD as model, like save model, and this one is review question 10, right? And then I can close my SQL Workbench. And this is an MWB file I just saved. Please upload the MWB file, not that PNG file, like for assignment 1. If I open this model, as you can see, if you click the table, the data record is still here. If you just export it as PNG, then what will happen? I will the TA and myself, we will only see this picture, so there's no way we can verify. If you know how to enter data record, then you lose points. So please be sure you save your ERD as model, not only the PNG file. Okay, this is for review question 10. And next one is for problem 6. If we take a look at problem 6, here, create a relational diagram to show the relationship between stone and region based on this figure, problem 3.1. So that means, at least for this ERD, we only need to take a look at this stone table and this region table. Okay, so first let's see. We have 2 records in the region table, region 1 and 2, and this region code is used as foreign key in the stone table, and clearly each region code appear more than once. That means one region can have many stone. So this is if we only want to know the connectivities, that's a one-to-many relationship. One region can have many stone, and one stone can be located in one and only one region. That's because here each stone has an associate region number. That means the foreign key here, the region code, cannot be left empty. It must have a value. So one region needs to be associated with at least, one stone need to be associated with at least one region, and only one region, because every record clearly it only has one region code. So this is one-to-many relationship, and one region can be related to, here I think I write down the business here. One region can contain one-to-many stone, and one stone is located in one and only one region. So then we need to create this relationship in MySQL Workbench. So basically, you need to include every attribute and every data record. This figure provided for the ERD. In case you're not sure which data type you need to use, I provide the data type you can use. For the region code is int, region descriptions, virchar 55. And for the stone table, stone code is int, stone name, virchar 45, stone, it's a yearly sales number, decimal, 92, and region code, int. This is a foreign key for this region has stone relationship. And employee code is a foreign key between the employee and the stone relationship. So this is not used as foreign key here, but please also include this attribute in the stone table. So how to do this? I'm going to show you. Let me just close this review question 1. ERD, start from here. Another model, another diagram. Still 2 table, 1 relationship. The first table is let me see, it's a region table. Table name is region. The first attribute also the primary key, region code, int, onside. Next one are region description, virchar 45. I think I should also set it as not null, but that's not a big deal. Okay, so that's a region table. It only has 2 attributes. And then the second table, the table on the main side, is the stone table. First attribute, also the primary key, stone code, primary key not null, on side. Next is stone name, virchar 45, not null. Next one, stone yearly sales. Okay, you can select the decimal from the drop-down list and then type 9, 2. Next one is region code. This is, let me enlarge this one. So this region code is a foreign key and will be used to build the one-to-many relationship between region and stone. So please be sure you use the same data type. And since here the minimum cardinalities is 1, it's not 0, which means each stone record must have a regent code. So it should be set as not null. And the last one is employee code. This is also a foreign key, but not for the relationship you need to create for this question. So I'm fine if you set it as not null or no. Okay, then it comes to how to build the one-to-many relationship. Again, use this last option. Place the relationship using existing column. And first click the foreign key. Here the foreign key is region code. And then the primary key, the region code in the region table. Since for this relationship, the minimum cardinalities for both table is 1. So you don't need to change anything here. Just keep them as mandatory. That means stone cannot, in this relationship, stone cannot exist without existence of region, and region cannot exist without existence of stone. So that's a relationship. Let me see. Yeah, I have 2 relationship names here. You can only use 1. Contents. And it's a good habit. Always keeps the foreign key attributes as the second or third attributes in your list. Otherwise, if you have many attributes in this table and your table screen is not big enough, you may not be able to see the foreign key attribute. And that's for the ERD. And for this one, you don't need to include that illustration because I provided. And then it comes to to the step of insert record. Still, double click or right click and then click edit regions. You will see this insert tab, and please refer to this figure, those 2 tables. For all record, you will need to insert into the ERD. So for the region table, it only has 2 records. First one region code is 1, and region description is called East. And second record region code is 2, and the region description is called West. And please, as I said, always apply the change here. Otherwise, you will lose your record. Okay, then the stone table. Double click it. You will see this insert tab, and we have 5 data records in the stone table. It will take a while. So first, record stone code 1, region code 2. Stone name is access junction. Stone's yearly sales. and the employee code 8. Next one, stone code 2, region code still 2, stone name, database, corner, and here is cell 1, and the employee code 3. Next one, stone code 3, region code 1, stone name, typo, charge, stone yellow cell 9867783.22, employee code 7. Next one, stone code 4, region code 2, stone name, attribute, yellow cell 944568.58, employee code 3. The last one, stone code 5, region code 1, stone name, primary key, point, and yellow cell 2930098.45, and employee code 15. So as I said, always apply change so your data record can be saved. And also for these questions, save it as model, not export it as PNG. Otherwise, we are unable to check your data record. And this is p6.mwb, and if I open it, you will see the data records I just insert. Okay, so that's for those two ERD, and I'm going to show you how assignment 2 will look like. Here, question 9 is where you should upload the first MWB file. That's review question 10 file. Please upload the whole model instead of PNG. And the next one is question 18, where you should upload the second MWB file, the Proven 6 MWB file. So still please upload the whole model instead of PNG. And another thing I want to say, the last thing, is problem 1 to 5 here will be tested in multiple choice format. So what's the primary key and foreign key for each table? And if the table show the entity integrity, that's about primary key. And if the table show referential integrity, so you don't need to write down the explanation. You just need to pick up the right one you consider. and describes the relationship between stone and region. I think I just described it, so why it's a 1-2 minute relationship, right? So especially for this question 15 and this question 16, make sure the answer you picked up, like everything in that option, is correct. Okay, so I think that's all for this video, and I have seen there are 3 or 4 students you have already submitted assignment 2. I'm not sure if you are well prepared, but if you want to redo it, you can email me direct to me, and I can clear your current attempt and give you another chance to finish assignment 2, since I didn't show the details for the ERD, the second ERD yesterday. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and assignment 2 will be due by the end of this Sunday.